The family of a 64-year-old man from Mississauga, Ontario, had an empty seat at the table last night at Christmas dinner and has since July, when Kevin O'Rourke was arrested during a layover in Dubai on his way to South Africa. O'Rourke had over 100 grams of cannabis products in his bag that he uses to help him deal with chronic pain from Addison's disease. Officials in Dubai, which has a zero-tolerance policy for drugs, detained him, charged him, and sentenced him to life in prison. His family says they worry for his safety there, and they're fighting for the release of a man they say made a harmless mistake. Joining us now is Pamela O'Rourke, Kevin's wife. Pamela, thank you so much for joining us today and discussing this story. We know last time you spoke to CBC News that Kevin was scheduled for a hearing to appeal that life sentence yesterday. What's the latest? What can you tell us?
Yeah, thanks, Mark, and thanks for keeping Kevin's story going. So yesterday, the hearing, so as I said previously, the appeal hearing was Christmas Day. So yesterday, Kevin's lawyers had the opportunity to present his appeal. They also submitted the memorandum to the courts. What we did find was, unfortunately, the judgment has been deferred until January 8th, which was, I've only got one word, disappointing for the family right across the country. We were up, as you can imagine, the trial was 10 a.m. in Dubai, so it started at 1. We were up till 3 or 4 on Christmas Eve, hoping that we would get some good news for Christmas. But we still are really confident, based on the laws of Dubai and the fairness of the court system. We're still pretty confident that we'll see Kevin acquitted and home after that July 8th. So, but yeah, it was a bittersweet Christmas Eve for all of us right across the country, all of Kevin's family and friends.
I'm glad to hear that you have reason for confidence, certainly, but having to wait even longer after you've waited so long already since July, it's got to be gut-wrenching. Best of luck to you, obviously, on January 8th. But in the meantime, Kevin continues to wait. We know that the reason he had these products on him, yes, they weren't prescription, but he has chronic pain. He has many issues that he deals with, certainly with Addison's disease, prone to infection. Tell us about the health issues he continues to face even there. We know he's had a couple surgeries. How's he doing?
Yeah, no, he's about August 20th, he was taken to hospital. He had a antibiotic-resistant infection. He spent 40 days in the hospital in Dubai. He had 2 emergency surgeries. Even right now, he's got an open wound. So they're changing the bandages, I think, twice daily still. So an open wound, and also his Addison's disease. I mean, that is Addison, it's really where your adrenals shut down. You don't produce cortisone, and cortisone controls everything from your blood pressure, heart, glucose levels, immunity, obviously, and then reaction to stress. So that's been really, really tricky. You think about it, in Canada, he's been with his doctor for probably close to 10 years. So just ongoing management and control. So not being able to get the proper medications has been really tricky. Even though in the hospital he was well looked after for the emergency surgeries, in prison it's just not the same. So he's fighting, I would say, daily just to get the right medications, to control and monitor them. He didn't have them when he was initially moved into detention. He was fighting for, I want to say, 6-8 weeks just to get the proper medication. So that was obviously impacted his immune system and resulted in those 2 surgeries and ending up in hospital.
I'm sure you've heard criticism from some people along the way. The internet is a wild place. And your family admits this is a guy who made a mistake here and does not deserve to be sentenced to life in prison for that mistake. And I'm sure you've also received a ton of assistance from various there are legal organizations dedicated to people who are detained in Dubai. That's actually their name. I mean, have you received help from them, from the government? Have they given you any hope?
I would say, obviously detained in Dubai, I'm familiar with the organization. They've been very helpful as far as guiding us and giving us some good direction. I would also say, since I've been back, I was in Dubai for 88 days and have been back just almost a month now. But since I have been back, we're seeing the support in Canada build. Both in Canada and Dubai, from consulate, from the embassy, certainly from my MP and right across. So we're seeing Canadian leaders also lean in to help Kevin because, just so disproportionate to the mistake that he made.
I'm happy to hear that, you are confident that he will someday be home, and we've spoken to you several times. The one voice we haven't heard in this story is, of course, Kevin's. I'm assuming you have had the chance to speak to him since. How's he doing? Is he confident that he can come home to see you someday?
I think that's a day-to-day, right? So when we went into the appeal, we felt pretty good we were going to get immediate judgment. And then when the judgment was deferred for yet another 2 weeks, that it's really hard. It really is hard because you don't know what the outcome is. And we feel based on the laws that we feel good based on the laws and what we presented in appeal, that he will ultimately be acquitted. But it is very hard to have these kinds of delays. And when you think about it, I want to say there's 40,000 Canadians who live and work in Dubai every day. There's another almost 200,000 people, tourists, that visit Dubai. And this could happen to any of them. I've said that before. It could happen, with your pain medication. It doesn't have to be CBD. So, we're really encouraged that, that we're going to see some fairness and some compassion at the end of all of this. But it is hard to wait another 2 weeks.
All the more reason to get the story out there. Pamela O'Rourke, thank you so much for your time. Good luck to you and your family, and we'll certainly be following up with you. Take care.